Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a video which will hopefully inspire you to get some crafty gifts. Now this is either for yourself or for anyone who is into crafts that you know of. So I'm going to start with paints, and I'm going to go for acrylics. By the way, if you're into watercolors, I have already made a watercolor specifics video, so that's a gift guide that I filmed where I'm sharing 8 different watercolor palettes, and they go from more affordable to quite pricey ones, so there's a nice variety there. So in this video, because it's a crafts video, I want to include this acrylic set. Now I haven't opened it yet, but I'm really planning to indulge in these beautiful colors. This is a very gorgeous set that personally appealed to me because I find nothing more boring than you know, that sort of traditional color selection, and you don't get interesting colors. Now this color combination is super cool, and I didn't actually realize, but this specific set was put together by Cass Art. It's an art shop in London. I'll try to link everything below, so have a look. So you get basically 12 tubes of 59 mils, and it's a very good size. Now it's sometimes hard to imagine before you actually see it as it is. So let me just get a tube out. Actually, I think it'd be easier to just get it out like this. So you can see it's a good size tube. So it's a professional acrylic paint, and it's a heavy body. So heavy body means it will be thicker rather than thinner. So for example, these are supposed to be thinner acrylic. So this is the Dylusions paint, and they are just, you know, it gives you a different experience painting with, and the thicker ones can create more texture as you go, and you can create, I guess, more brush strokes if you wish. So I personally prefer the heavy body ones. Now Liquitex is supposed to be very good for acrylics. I also got a big tube of, let me just grab it, of the white paint. This is titanium white, and the other thing that's cool, it's that it conforms to ASTM, and that means they're light fast. So that's another fantastic thing. So you get the titanium white in this set as well, but I just got an extra tube because I like to use white a lot to kind of dilute colors and make them a bit more pastel. But yeah, like I said, the colors that spoke to me is this range of gorgeous bright colors. The 2 reds you get, which is sort of, this is like an orangey red, and this is more of a alizarin crimson hue, permanent it says. And then we've got the magenta, we've got a lovely purple, kind of very juicy purple, a gorgeous teal, and then this kind of limey green, which looks super beautiful with this color, and I can imagine mixing it with the yellow would be great as well. So you get one brown, which is rose sienna. It's quite useful for skin tones and all sorts of other things. There is a grey and a black. So neat set, and I like the way it looks as well in terms of the packaging. It kind of looks pretty cool to me, and yes, so I would recommend that as a gift. And it's quite it's not too expensive, but it's a good price. If you give this on its own, I think it makes a great gift, and also it feels quite, you know, quite robust. It's a nice big box. I would be very excited if I was gifted this. Okay, now let's move on to, so I'll do paper last, because there is something I want to show you. Let's do, what should we do? We'll do this, because this is acrylics related. Now, I kind of, for the rest of the items, I put sort of sets together, because on their own, they're not that expensive, and I feel that, you know, a gift should cost a certain amount. Otherwise, I would feel a bit sort of, I don't know, awkward, I guess, giving something that costs only a few pounds as a gift. That's why I created kind of like gift sets ideas. which you hopefully will find inspiring. So the next gift idea is this Gelli printing plate. Now I haven't used mine because I wanted to keep it for this video nicely packed so you can see it, what it would look like if you would gift it. So inside here you get this lovely Gelli plate, which is stuck to 2 pieces of like acrylic plastic, and all it is just a soft kind of very silicone-y like plate. And what you do is you use acrylics to create different types of, there's a little leaflet here that gives you a couple of ideas if you are a beginner, and it also, you know, gives you a few tips here. But yeah, so this is the 6 by 6 inches. So if you are into scrapbooking and you prefer the 6 by 6 inches, then it's perfect because you can make your little papers of this size and then use it for scrapbooking. Now this can be used for all sorts of crafty projects, and it's really fun. So like I said, you need acrylics paint. So ideally you would gift it to someone who's already into acrylics, or you can gift, because it's not really expensive, what I would recommend is if you are gifting this set, so this is a small Brayer by Ranger, and so obviously it'd be nice to give them together because you can't work with just, you know, one or the other, so you need them together. Now if the person is doesn't have any acrylics, why not giving them a tab of acrylic paint? So I have here 3 lovely colors, and so this is the Funky Fuchsia, this is Pomegranate Seed. I can't wait to use this one. This is just such a gorgeous kind of burgundy color, and this one is Pure Sunshine. So you could just pick one color. I think on their own they're about 5 or 7 quid, something like that, and you could gift it like so the person has already something to work with and they don't need to run out and look for acrylics. Now of course gifting it over Christmas means that the shops will be closed as well, so it's good to gift something that the person could go to their room and start crafting really. So either you do that and pick like a color that you think they will love if they're into pinks or whatever, and that would be a lovely gift to give. Now if they already have acrylic paints and they have something to work with, I would personally recommend to add a little stencil to the set to make it a little bit more kind of cute. So this stencil here is by Heidi Swapp, and I'm not entirely sure what collection this comes from. It doesn't say, but basically it's got 4 pieces in here, and you have one stencil, which is, I love the fact that they're this lovely aqua color, really lovely color. So one stencil is this typical Heidi Swapp kind of lines, so you can use it like that, and they're of course the same size, so they're perfect for that because they're 6 by 6. Okay, and then the other one that's underneath, which is what I got it for, is this lovely flower which looks like a rose, I think, and you get 3 pieces. So this is one stencil, and then you get 2 separate ones which you can adhere and create more pattern, or in fact you could just use them singular on the platform. So what you do is, for example, you would either apply the stencil to the clean Gelli plate and then roll over acrylics and then lift it and then print it onto the paper, in which case you would basically have white where the stencil was, because that would be covered by the stencil, or you could do the acrylic first with the brayer, then put the stencil, then the paper. In that case you would get the paint on the back of the stencil and you could sort of print that onto something, or you could lifted, and you could have a nice interesting pattern. So there's loads of ways of working with it, so I think that makes a nice little gift. Now let's move on to haberdashery kind of thing, which is here on my right. So on their own, these gifts are super affordable and they're cheap as chips. So this one is like a few quid, and these are also a few quid, and that's why I would recommend to throw in a few embroidery yarn into there, because it would just, you know, be kind of fun again to start working with something if the person doesn't have yarn already and they would like to try this out. Now, I don't know a single person that doesn't like pompons or tassels, so I think this is a win-win situation. So you could, if you're really generous, because they're not that expensive, they're quite affordable, give it as a set. So you could give the tassel maker, which is this one, and the pompon makers in 4 different sizes with the embroidery yarn, or you could just do one or the other. Okay, so I will show you as an example. Here is a little tassel that I made. I made loads of tassel for my Christmas toy ornaments, which I think the videos should come this week if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and so I've made it with this lovely tassel maker, which extends into 5 different sizes. So the smallest one is this one right here that it's set to, and it's the 6 centimeter tassel. Now if you want to extend and create bigger tassels, all you do is you unscrew these little bolts here and then pull out the frame to the size that you want. Here are the little measurements, and the biggest tassel you can make is the 10 centimeters on this frame. So that's that. If you want to gift someone this little set, then basically this makes lovely pompons. In terms of sizing, the largest pompon you could make is the 9 centimeter diameter, and then this is the 7 centimeter medium one. Then you get the small one, which is 5.5, and the extra small, which is, what's this one? 3.5. Now I'll show you an example. I made this lovely garland, which is just the most adorable thing ever. I think it's one of my most favorite crafty projects I have ever made. So it's just so adorable. Last week I went into an interior shop, and they had a pom-pom garland there, which was just so adorable. The colors that they picked was so cute. So I decided to make my own for my son's little shelf that he has. So basically it hangs down beautifully, and I used this small pom-pom maker, so you can see roughly that's the diameter. I mean, it's a little bit just slightly larger, but you can cut it down more if you wanted to. I don't cut them so too perfect, so some of the pieces are standing up, and I think it makes a nice little kind of rough pom-pom. And yeah, just play around with it. So it would make a lovely gift, because all you're going to do is you just need a roll of yarn, and you just need to sit down, and you're going to have so much fun. It's so addictive to make these pompons, or tassels in fact, and yeah, super fun. If you want, you could actually gift it to yourself and then make loads of these and give them as gifts, because that means you spend some time making them, and there would be something, you know, from your heart. So that would be a great idea. Or you could always get the tassel maker and make loads of tassels for wrapping presents, or just throw them into like little gifts or stocking fillers or whatever you can think of. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So the next one is going to be paper craft related gift ideas, and here I have a few things. So gifting someone a nice beautiful 12 by 12 paper block is always really fun. And this is the Maggie Holmes Willow Lane. I believe this is her latest collection, which I was a little bit late to get. There are a few pieces that I'm still waiting from, which I ordered on Amazon, and I think they might be coming in the new year, but I'm happy I could still get hold of it. Anyway, so if you know someone who's into scrapbooking or journal kind of projects or anything like that, anything paper related, they would really enjoy something like this. So the papers are beautiful, especially because this Willow Lane has 6 gold foiled pages. So this design right here, hopefully you can see that there's the foiling there, this one right here, this one, and this one, which looks like mermaid scales, then this one, and also the music notes as well. So I'll just give you a quick flip through, and so that you get the idea how lovely, very floral collection this is. So very pretty, and especially because it's got the gold foil, it's perfect for this season to be doing some crafty paper projects. And I think this is one of my favorite ones. It's like winter wonderland with like bunnies and flowers and little patterns that look like snow or something, or wind and clouds, and it's just gorgeous. Unicorns on brad paper, hello. I get excited by this sort of thing. This is the gold foil paper. I love this one, although it's on a dark background, but it just looks so chic. It looks like embroidered florals, which talking of which, I have somewhere here which I'll show you in a minute. There is also the stamp set that is absolutely gorgeous, one of my favorite floral stamp sets ever, and that's basically the same pattern as this, or a similar type. And yeah, loads and loads of lovely stuff. So these are the cut apart sheets, which also have the gold foil, and I think just looks absolutely adorable. I love this panda. This is one of the other things I ordered, is this. Let me just try and get it into the frame, this little panda here. There is like an embellishment, which is I think like a sticker or something, and the panda is wearing like a tutu skirt out of little kind of that fabric, like a mesh fabric. It's just absolutely adorable. So yeah, so if you get someone this gift, it's already I think I paid about 17 quid on Amazon, so it's a good price already. However, if you want to really spoil them, what you could do is just throw a couple more things in from the collection, so it kind of matches. So I've got a couple of things here. So this is the alphabet stickers, so this is the 336, so you get 2 colors in here. You could do also from this collection this like a clear sticker kind of thing with these lovely gold foil, and then, or you could do something like this, which would take them even further, because they could, or you could, create loads of papers actually with this type of thing. So all you need is some inks and something like the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks would be great, but I don't have one yet. I'm kind of thinking of getting those as well, or something like just the Distress inks. You could create loads of patterned papers with that, and it would be really, really fun. So there's loads of things you could create, or you could create embellishments, you know, just cut them out and layer them. So loads of things to do. So that's from the same collection. Or what you could do otherwise is get them a couple of die cuts. Now let me start from the more kind of basic or sort of versatile ones, and then I'll go into the more fun ones. So here I've got the Sizzix by Tim Holtz framelits, I think. And this set is the tags, so it's not as girly, but it's super fun to work with. So it's 8 different dies, and this looks like a little tag. And yeah, it's got everything, including the very much needed eyelet for the tags, so you can make them a bit more robust. So it looks like this. It looks like a real tag basically. And you can use the papers to create those tags. So for example, let me just give you a few creative ideas. For example, you pick a lovely paper with that gold effect. Let's find those mermaid scales rather. There we go. So imagine on this gorgeous paper you can cut out the tag. Now I forgot to mention this would be great for someone who already has a die cutting machine. So if you give this to someone who doesn't have a die cutting machine, it means that they will have to run out and spend at least, you know, 70 or 100 quid, depending on what type of die cutting machine they get, to be able to use these die cuts. So this is, like I said, this is only if they have a die cutting machine. Otherwise, go for the other version that I just showed you, which is the something matching from the collection. So, but like I said, if they do have the die cutting machine, you can then also get them another set, which is this like a mini envelope. It's called A5 die set. It's by XCAD. All the links will be below, and basically you can create this lovely looking envelope, which also has an inlay. So it's not just an envelope, but you can create an inlay of a different type of paper, like a pattern paper. And then you also can create like a note card, and it would just look so cute using these papers. You know, that would be very pretty. If you know someone who's really into crafty projects and who's quite girly and likes pretty things, I would recommend to either get them something like this. So this is a lovely doily I found on Amazon, which I'm really happy about. It's called Vintage Tea Party. I think that might be the collection, and it's a vintage doily metal die set, but it's only one. I think there isn't anything else to it. Yeah, it's just one piece, and it's super pretty. I mean, how gorgeously looking is this? And the size is 3 by 3 inches, so it's very pretty. You could get that, or if you want to get something that's a little bit more affordable, this was in one of those £1 baskets at Hobbycraft. So it's got 4 different scallop edge kind of mini circles here, and it's called intricate nesting circles. So that's great for creating little embellishments. You know, instead of punching circles, if they have a die cutting machine, they could create these pretty ones with a lovely edge to it. So they could create something like that, or little rosettes, or, you know, loads of different things. So that's that. The other thing is of course florals. If you know someone who's into florals, there are 2 things which I would highly recommend. One I already used. Let me just find it. Okay, so basically this is the Jane Davenport Sea Flower, and it's just gorgeous. It's from one of her latest collections, and it is, you get 2 pieces. So you get this large piece which has 3 kind of flowers, and then a singular one as well. So that's what it looks like, and I cut out mine out of watercolor paper, which I just had some kind of swatches kind of thing, and then that's what it looks like, and it's just so gorgeous. If I just turn around and show you up against the white, it's just very precious. So you could cut out loads of these from these different papers, and every time it would look like a new piece. So that's really fun. I would really highly recommend it. Really great quality, cuts out beautifully, and just super pretty. Or the other 2, which are a little bit pricey, but you could get them actually just like that, or you could just get one of them to go with the papers, or like I said, together, because this is the Wildflowers 1 and Wildflowers 2. So when I was ordering this one, I didn't realize that there was a 2, and I had to get it because it's just so adorable together. It's just the most precious thing ever. And so again, by Sizzix, and it's the Tim Holtz, and it comes in a lovely envelope. So this one I haven't opened yet because I didn't use it yet. I have opened this one, and that's why I ordered the second one, because it's just super pretty. And I'll show you here. This is one of the die cuts that I cut out, again out of watercolor paper, and you can create loads and loads of things with it, and they just look so pretty. You know, you could arrange like a little flower arrangement, and because there are 7 in each, it means you have 14 different styles of wildflowers. You could use the same one on different papers and it would look different, and you could create just like bouquets, you could create collages, so many things. So I would really highly recommend this one as well, very pretty. And finally, I will recommend, and this might be more a gift for yourself because it's quite pricey, or it might be for someone, like, you know, for your spouse, or someone from your family, someone who's really close to you. You might want to give that to them, and that is die cutting machine. Now let me get it out because it's quite heavy. So here it is. It's not so much big because this is the small version from the original one. So this is the Spellbinders. This is what it looks from the side, Spellbinders, and this is the Platinum 6. And that's the reason why I ordered it, because it's the mini version. And by mini, it's, you know, smaller than the original one, but it is still a perfect size for getting all of your projects done. And that envelope that I showed you, so the A5 die set, that fits in perfectly here, but anything bigger than that, it would not fit in. However, or you can see you still have about 1 centimeter each side. However, you know, I personally I would never cut out anything bigger than that, so I wouldn't need it. So what you do is you just open it up like that, and with the set you also get this so you get the Spellbinders platform, which tells you what you need to do for what. So it's a die cutting machine and embossing machine in one. So you could purchase also the embossing folders, or you could just emboss with the die cuts instead of cutting with them, if that makes sense. So you get this lovely platform, then you get 2 acrylic cutting plates, which are clear. So these ones, mine are already quite used up because I have been working on a few things, and when you get them, they're completely clear and transparent, but as much, you know, the more you use it, obviously the more scratched up they get. And I've got loads of flowers here because that's what I've been cutting out. And then you also get these 2. So this is a tan kind of flexible silicone mat, which is for the embossing, and this is the embossing plate, which you use instead of one of those transparent ones if you want to emboss. And that's what you get. Now, if you're presenting something like this to someone who doesn't have a die cutting machine, obviously, then I would highly recommend to get a little die cutting set, something that wouldn't be expensive, because you obviously already purchase something quite expensive. So it could be something like, you know, like I said, a little mini kind of pound die cut, or this cost also a few pounds, although it's very intricate, but it's actually very affordable. I'll leave all the links below. So they would be ready to start die cutting no matter what, because paper they will always have at home. Trust me, if someone who never had die cutting machine in their life before, whether they think they're not into it or they are, they will be obsessed. I mean, as soon as you do your first die cutting, something happens and you just want to die cut every single piece of paper that you have, and you think, oh, this might look great, and why don't I do this? And then you want to start using your embellishments. I will show you something else which I have done with this, which is basically this. I think I've got a tutorial coming possibly next week. So this is a lovely die cutting kind of flowers thing I did, and you can use this once you punch out the flowers, you can then use it as a stencil. And for example, these I did with a bit of watercolor before punching them out, and then those ones that I did punch out, a couple of them I have then watercolored later on and created these lovely floral embellishments. And so is this one. So basically I've done it with a die cutting machine, and as you can see, it looks just absolutely precious. It almost looks like a porcelain flower, but it's a paper flower with a little bit of dimension. So I will teach you how to do these in the, I think it should be the Monday video, so you have something to look forward to. But yeah, absolutely, there's just so many things you can do. Literally, I think it was one of the best buys this year. I got it a little bit discounted on Amazon because it was Black Friday, but if I'm not mistaken, the discount is still on. So if you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to do it. And I hope you really enjoyed this crafts gift guide, and yeah, hopefully some of the ideas spoke to you and you will find them useful. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.